If you're one of Android's billions of users, this latest shock revelation should be a serious concern. Your phone is at risk, and critical safeguards are just not working. For Google, the timing was unfortunate to say the least. Just a few days before Tim Cook claimed that Android has 47 times more malware than iOS, another security report exposed yet more very dangerous Joker malware hiding on Android devices. While that 47 times number might questionable, Cook is in the right ballpark. Android is both less private and less secure than iOS. We've designed iOS, Cook said, in such a way that there's one app store. All of the apps are reviewed prior to going on the store. And so, that keeps a lot of that malware out of our ecosystem. Cook's point was that you cannot sideload apps onto an iPhone from third-party stores in the same way you can with an Android device. But there are a couple of stark ironies here. First, Apple's App Store has been slammed recently for its own lack of security. Back in 2016, Apple's own head of fraud engineering algorithms and risk described its app review process as bringing a plastic butter knife to a gunfight. And so, while Apple devices are better protected than Android's, its safeguards are no panacea. The second irony is that the latest set of 8 Joker-laced apps targeting Android devices were not sideloaded from a questionable app store. No, these came direct from Google's Play Store. Which means that Google still cannot erect a safety net capable of keeping well-known malware out of its store and away from its users. Those latest apps have obviously been removed, but that's hardly the point. Rogue apps can and do make their way onto the Play Store, ESET's Jake Moore warns. People must carry out their own due diligence where necessary. Reviews and numbers of downloads are important places to start before installing an app, as these can often give telltale signs as to what the app may actually is. Apple's recent headline issues on app security have primarily centered on so-called fleeceware, where users are tricked into outrageously expensive subscription plans for basic apps. This isn't new, as I've reported before, and it's not limited to iOS. Android suffers from the same type of scams on Play Store. But Android users face a much more dangerous risk, and that's malware that will do you much more harm. There were multiple Joker malware stories last year, as Google continued to shore up its defenses and threat actors continued to break through. It's a tricky malware to detect, Check Point Security told me at the time, describing the malware as one of the most sophisticated threats of its kind we have ever seen. Every Joker sample we have reported has been removed from the Play Store, but there are others. Indeed, there are. A full year later, despite initiatives that include engaging third-party security vendors to help safeguard Play Store, those threats still materialize.